for fighting global warming is to increase the amount of aerosols in the atmosphere, scattering incoming solar energy away from the Earth's surface. Scientists theorize that this solar geoengineering can have a side effect of whitening the sky during the day. New research from Carnegie's Ben Kravitz and King Caldera indicates that blocking 2% of the sun's light would make the sky 3 to 5 times brighter, as well as whiter. The work is published June 1st in Geophysical Research Letters, a journal of the American Geophysical Union. The burning of coal, oil, and gas have been increasing over the past decades, causing the Earth to get hotter and hotter. Large volcanic eruptions cool the planet by creating lots of small particles in the stratosphere, but the particles fall out within a couple of years and the planet heats back up. The idea behind solar geoengineering is to constantly replenish a layer of small particles in the stratosphere, mimicking this volcanic aftermath and scattering sunlight back to space. Using advanced models, Kravitz and Caldera, along with Douglas McMartin from the California Institute of Technology, examined changes to sky color and brightness from using sulfate-based aerosols in this way. They found that depending on the size of the particles, the sky would whiten during the day, and sunsets would have afterglows. Their models predicted the sky would still be blue, but it would be a lighter shade than what most people are used to looking at now. The research team's work shows that skies everywhere could look like those over urban areas in a world with this type of geoengineering taking place.
Everybody is still denying the reality of this program going on. Over our heads in the skies is a faithful disbeliever in that they are ignoring the facts in front of them in favor of faithfully believing that the government is telling us the truth and that they wouldn't do anything like this behind our backs. So in case that one person is still out there, this last bit is for you. Thank you everybody for watching.
Say so many of their neighbors and family members have developed cancer. These two citizens groups say they have dozens of informants who are feeding them secret information about a massive cover-up by the Army. For decades, Fort Detrick was the site for the Army's biological weapons program. Scientists there experimented with plenty of chemicals and pathogens. People living in that area say the toxic chemicals are still leaking into the ground. Two citizens groups say they conducted a year-long investigation that found a startling number of people with cancer living in that area. 22 people on Kemp Lane, 42 on Rocky Springs, and 60 on Shookstown Road. Kristen Renee's father says he spent years pressing Fort Detrick officials to explain why so many people have developed cancer.
My daughter was diagnosed with having brain cancer at the age of 28 years old, and she died in my arms at 29 and a half. Since the last press conference, I lost
The definitive link. Fort Detrick denies any kind of cover-up and has hired outside agencies to investigate pollution. Linda So, ABC 2 News.
I'm Lindsay Mastis in Frederick. This is Area B here at Fort Detrick. This is the place that scientists tested biological warfare like anthrax during the Cold War. But we're told that they also did experiments on the public in place.
They were human experiments, but they were controlled human experiments.
Norm Covert worked at Fort Detrick for more than 20 years.
It's a top secret program.
He says yes, members of the military used biological agents on people in public places without their knowledge.
They had someone walk through the airport with a suitcase which had a spray device.
But he says what they sprayed was safe.
Is ubiquitous. It's all around us. We live with it every day.
But some people question whether the biological agents released into the air were safe.
They've been trying to cover up.
But Covert insists the idea was always to protect the public.
Army experimented on unsuspecting St. Louisans in the 1950s and 60s has been getting worldwide attention. Missouri's 2 U.S. senators are demanding more information, but so far the Army remains silent. The problem for the government is that survivors remember.
Tell their stories, but the government has shown no interest. So tonight we are giving